Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Nicholas. It's another beautiful day here in Central Ohio, and I just want to be outside in the greenhouse. It's just filling me with life. Today, I kind of have a bunch that I need to do in the greenhouse, and I just want to show you kind of like my daily routine. So I need to water everything in the greenhouse, but my I try not to make a mess in there, and if I water in there it just spills everywhere, so I have to usually bring plants out to water and then put them back in. So I'm going to do that, but as I do that I want to give you updates on the plants in there. And then I just remembered that a while ago I bought some like bulbs, but not like fall planted bulbs that come up in the spring. It's like bulbs that you buy in the spring that come up and you plant in the spring and then they come up in the summer. So I need to get those in the ground or else they're going to go to waste because there's already growth on them. So let me just give you a view of the greenhouse and what's inside, and then we'll start like knocking things out and we'll see what we can get into. As you come into the greenhouse, it's jam-packed and I have stuff everywhere. It's hard to keep things looking good when it's like you don't have a whole lot of room. But honestly, I think that my geraniums are like they need to get put in the ground or in pots or whatever, but it's still a tiny bit too cold for that. So but yeah, I think it'll be easier if I just bring the plants out, and as I'm watering them I can give you an update on what they are and when they were planted and such. So all of my geraniums were started on January 20th, which is very early to start geraniums, but I wanted them to be like big when I plant them. I probably could have waited a couple weeks and then I would have timed it correctly, because as you can see on the bottom of some of these, their leaves are starting to turn because they're stressed. So I probably need to fertilize them, but they need a really good drink of water. So I think what I'm going to do is water them in really well, and then I can give them fertilizer on top of that because they just need a really good drink. And that wasn't all of them. I have more. I think I have 87 geraniums in my greenhouse right now. Now that we have some of the bulk out of the greenhouse, we can move around in here and I can tell you what all we have going on. On this table I have some coleus. This is Wizard Coral Sunrise, and some Amber Eyes Thunbergia or Black-Eyed Susan Vine. This is a tray of Gomphrena. It's just like a purple Gomphrena. And then this tray has some Shades of Summer Verbascum, some Hollyhocks, and some Dusty Miller. This is the New Look Dusty Miller. I also have 3 trays down there of Shades of Summer Verbascum. I have more coleus, so more of the Wizard Coral. And then I have, well, I don't remember. Let me see. Giant Exhibition Magma, Wizard Red Velvet, And then there's another one. It's like a chip, chocolate chip something or something like that. Let me see if I can find the tag. I'll throw the name on the screen because I can't find it. I do have a couple trays of Lisianthus down here. They're doing really well. This is my first year growing Lisianthus, and I'm very surprised. I have Roseanne 2 Terracotta and Voyage 2 Pink Improved, I think, back there. And then the other ones are right here. Voyage 2 First Love, and then Voyage 2 Light Apricot. I don't recall when those were January 11th for the Lisianthus. These are some snapdragons that honestly I just started like last week or the week before. I have 20 apple blossom, 20 rose, and then I also have 20 peach back there. I have more New Look Dusty Miller, Fireworks Gomphrena back there. It's small, but it's doing fine. That is right back here is Purple Prince Ultrananthera. And then this is the Cybella Silene Carmine something. I have some bleeding hearts that I started from like bulb, but look, they're blooming. And then I have a bunch of the coleus that Corey sent me from up north garden. I have some Rudbeckias back there, Sahara and Cherry Brandy. And then this plant is Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. This is my Dichondra Emerald Falls. It's looking really good. And more coleus. These columbines, I have a bunch of different ones. There's Granny's Bonnets, there's Rocky Mountain, there's Barlow Mix, and McCanna Giants, I think. I do have some, and I don't know when those were started. I couldn't even guess. I do have some other things, some random perennials. And then I have my, what are they called? Sweet peas. So they're looking fine. I am dealing with the fungus gnat issue like I do every year. I set traps out and I have been spraying neem, but it's such a small area and it gets very moist in here, so they just thrive. So I stay on top of it the best I can, but it's kind of like par for the course. And then these are the bulbs that I remembered I had, and we have to do something with them today. I have some Dutch iris, but as you can see, they're like ready to get put in the ground. So we'll do that. I do have a dahlia, and it needs to go in some soil too, but I'm probably gonna have to put it in a pot and leave it in the greenhouse. And then these are surprise lilies. I got them at the Home and Garden show, but they, as you can see, have a bunch of green on them. And then in this bag, I have some different gladiolas. Oh, Mon Amour and Purple Flora. Those are the types. So let me just continue watering, get that done, and we'll see what else we can get into. So this is also kind of my way of hardening things off because I move them out pretty regularly. And there are some things I think I'm going to take out of the greenhouse, like for good. So I'm probably going to water the geraniums again just because they needed like a really good drink. And then I'll fertilize them. And then we'll see what else we're going to do. I have made some decisions to clear up some space in my greenhouse. The bulbs that I just told you guys about, I need to get all of those planted, and then I want to plant these bleeding hearts as well. I have some Virginias that I need to plant. They're also called pig squeak. And so the bleeding hearts and the Virginias are shade. And then I have some Siberian iris that I need to find spots for, and Dutch iris, and then the two other things in the bags that I was telling you about. Those all want sun. So all of that I want to get planted today. And then the other thing that I decided was for the columbines, the hollyhocks, shades of summer verbascum, even the dusty millers, and some other things, I think I'm going to leave them outside in this bed. And if it gets cold, like, around 32-ish, I have a cover, a frost cloth cover that I can stick over this whole bed. But I think that some of these things actually aren't doing as well as they could be doing because the greenhouse is too warm. So I for sure think that about the columbine and the hollyhocks and the shades of summer verbascum, because these are also shades of summer verbascum, and they want to grow like they are an earlier grower, so they do come out when it's chilly. Like I have some in the ground right now that are almost this big, and we just had a 20-degree night the other night and they came through just fine. If they're not, then it's a lesson learned, but I really think that some of this stuff is going to do better because in the greenhouse I have a great heater. It's amazing and I love it. And the nighttime is not the problem because the heater, I think I keep it set at like 65 or something in my greenhouse. But during the day, even when it's cold outside, it'll get 90 plus in the greenhouse. And there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't want to grow like that. So I think I'm going to move some stuff out, and then it'll allow me to start some different things in the greenhouse that I didn't think I was going to be able to start. Like some stuff that likes to get started like 4 weeks before your last frost, like zinnias and stuff like that. So I'll be able to go through my seed packets and see what else I can do on a different day because we have enough to do today. So I still have all the plants out right now. I'm letting them be outside for right now. So I just want to go and plant all the things that we need to plant, and it might be a jumble because it's going to be all over the yard, but I'll do my best to make it make sense for you. Here we are in the secret garden. It's going to be really hard to see everything, but I'll just point it out to you. So this is a path This is a planting bed, and the path leads you around to the seating area. So all of this is going to be planted up, and then this is a lot of stuff I overwintered, but so that's the path, and then this over here is planting area. I didn't feel like moving all this stuff, so I didn't plant anything over there. So we just did this side. There's already a hellebore right there. There's a hosta there. There's some ferns, and then there's some more hostas and ferns that go like this around to that point. So what I did was just the back layer. So I did the Virginias and then the bleeding hearts behind that. I think it's going to be really nice. I like it already. I can't wait for you guys to see it in season. I think you're going to finally see like my vision, but it's really hard to see right now. The next spot we're in is by the pool. So I think I'm going to put the iris plants right here. And then we'll probably go somewhere else to find spots for the other things. But I need 4 holes with this 5-inch auger. I would imagine these probably won't look like much this year, but there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 right there. I don't think that they're going to do much this year, but next year, hopefully they look good. And I know exactly where we're going to put the rest of this stuff. So this bed right here, this circle bed, has a bunch of stuff in it. There's hardy geraniums, a rose, a bunch of like Shasta daisies, some eryngiums, there's all kinds of stuff. But it's really pretty in season. It's like this beautiful overflowing cottage garden. So I'm just gonna add everything else here, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna do the surprise lilies first with the gladiolas. There's 2 lilies and 10 gladiolas. So we'll do the gladiolas like in the middle because they'll be tall, and then the lilies I'm just going to put right here in the front. And then when I'm done with that, I have 35 bulbs of the Dutch iris plants, and they get 24 inches tall, so they're probably going to be like in the front-ish. So that's what I have to do, is drill 47 holes. So maybe I'll just do that, 47. That's what I'll do, 47 holes. well, you can't see what I've done, but so I did have gladiolas in here last year, and I thought they said they were annuals, but I kicked up a bunch of, well, I kicked up like 3 gladiolus bulbs, and they had roots and they were growing, so I'm guessing they're going to come back, so I'll have even more. So I kept the glads in the center of the bed, and then I did a kind of like a loose ring around that of the Dutch iris, and then the 2 surprise lilies are right there. I think they're also called naked ladies, so we will see once it comes up. It doesn't look like much right now. I have nothing to show you, but you did see me do it, so at least there's that. I'll be honest with you, that all took so much longer than I anticipated, but the greenhouse is cleared out. I'll show you everything just to end the, tidy up the video. But I fertilized all of the plants that were out here, and I put them back in there minus the stuff that I'm keeping outside. Everything's planted. All the bulbs are planted, as you know. The only thing left that we have are these 2 dahlia tubers that we need to plant. This is Kelsey Annie Joy. They're really pretty. I've never grown this one before, but they get 24 to 32 inches tall, so I would say like a smaller, maybe medium sized dahlia. And it says planting depth 1 inch, which is not, this is, the tuber itself is bigger than 1 inch, so it is 1 inch under the soil. I'm guessing that's what I'm going to do. I do have some soil here, and I'm just going to use the containers from stuff we just planted. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of soil down in the bottom. And there should be 2. 1 and 2. They both have growth on them. There's this one and that one. This one's a lot bigger, but that's okay. So on a dahlia, you can see the stem where it was cut last year, and then all of these were underneath the ground like potatoes. And then from those little tubers grows new growth the next year. So I'm honestly probably just putting this all the way. I'll bury this one, plant it, and then I'll show you a close-up of the second one. But I'm just going to put this one down all the way. I'm okay with that. Maybe one handful more. I learned, so I start a lot of things early in my greenhouse so that I can grow them on to a larger size by the time they go out. But I have learned that dahlias are not one of those that you want to do, because they will get really tall, and then when you put them outside, they will just fall right over and break. So I found that start them later. You could even just put these straight into the ground and it would probably still do better than this, but because the tuber already has so much growth on it, I'm afraid to wait. So, but that one's done. So let me give you a close-up on this next one. I have some soil in the bottom, and then there's where the stem was cut last year, and these are all going like opposite way. So I'm gonna probably like put this a little bit crooked in the container. Like that. And then I'm just gonna fill it up. And the green shoots that are already in there will find their way up. And there we go. I'm just going to water them in and put them in the greenhouse. So let me do that, and then I'll show you what's in the greenhouse. I guess maybe I should show you what's not in the greenhouse first, and then I'll show you what the greenhouse looks like now that it's a little bit more cleared out. Not totally, but a little bit more. So in this bed, I put all of the columbine, hollyhocks, shades of summer verbascum, delphiniums, stuff like that. And then over on this table, I have the shades of summer verbascum, the big ones. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet in the garden, but it's going to be lovely. So now I have the geraniums on the left side and the middle, and they're spread out more so that they can have some room to grow. And then now both of these shelves are not even full. I have spaces where I didn't have before, and this whole table is clear. So I have another tray of geraniums here, but then everything else fits. So all of my Lysianthus are back here with some different things. Coleus, everything's looking really good. I decided to keep my Dusty Miller in here just because. The only thing, I said I was going to keep the Dusty Miller out and I was going to keep the sweet peas out because sweet peas do like to grow cold, but I don't know if they like to grow that cold. So I think I might wait just a little bit and then I'll put them out there because they don't look bad. I've pinched them twice already, so that's why they're so short. And then everything else down here looks great. That felt like a really long day, but I guess it probably wasn't. It just felt like, like when you're trying to do a job and you forget your something over here, you got to go get it. And then you walk back and you're like, oh, I forgot something else. And then it's never ending. That's how it was. I kept forgetting stuff and it just kept making it difficult. And then I think the whole like walking through all the mud and slop was like kind of, I don't know, it was kind of wearing me down, not physically, but just like mentally. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. I feel like it's a little bit of a cluster, so hopefully it makes sense. But we got more done, which feels good. And we got the greenhouse emptied out a little bit, which feels even better. So I will see you guys very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.